We are joined by future Hall of Fame wideout Larry Fitzgerald of the Arizona Cardinals. For people that don't know the backstory, that was your father, who has been a longtime sports reporter up in the Minnesota area. So I'm curious, did you get grounded after calling him out there, Larry?
No, he still doesn't talk to me, and it's been like 4 weeks and he still hasn't talked to me yet. You know, but it's not every day that your dad tees you up to be able to get back at him. You know, a little bit. You know, all the spankings he gave me when I was a little kid. You know, now I had a little bit of chance to, you know, poke the bear, and he didn't like it.
Very nice. So you're hanging out this week down in Orlando at the Diamond Resorts Invitational. That's where my usual co-host Kevin Millar is. But your current teammate Patrick Peterson of the Cardinals is also there. So do we have a little side wager between the two of you?
No side wagers right now. Patrick's he's a little better than me right now. His driver is a lot straighter. He's hitting a little bit better than me. I didn't play as much during the season. Had a couple issues, so I'm just getting back into the swing of things. But maybe by like April, May, I'll be able to have a little small wager with him.
All right, I have to ask every golfer this one. Have you ever had a hole-in-one?
Yeah, I've had 3 hole-in-ones.
What?
And with anybody in particular?
Yeah, my dad's been playing golf for 40 years, right? And I've been playing like literally 6 months. So I make the hole-in-one, and my dad is, you know, he's like, son, you know, congratulations. It's one of those, like, he was congratulating me, but he was mad that he'd been playing 40 years. It only took me 6 months to do it, and so that was my first one. And then the third one, actually, last year, I was playing with President Obama at Seminole, and I was able to make one, which was pretty cool.
So, Larry, which foursome, right, did you have more fun with? Obama's or this guy, Tiger Woods?
Oh man, I can't compare the two. I mean, both of them are a lot of fun. I mean, the thing you like about Tiger is that he's able to help you with some of the things. You see some poor technique and like, Fitz, try this and do this. So, you know, you're able to work on your game. But with President Obama, I mean, just to be able to sit and talk to him about 4 hours about everything that you could imagine. I mean, there was two other guys that were completely different, you know, line of work than I was able to see him just bounce from conversation to conversation seamlessly. Just showed his intelligence and just how up to speed he was on everything that's going on in the world.
All right, Larry, can I get back to the hole-in-one with President Obama for a second? Like, when that happens, do you jump into his arms? Do you high-five him? Or what the heck do you do?
No, he had all the Secret Service guys around him. They had semi-automatic weapons, and I didn't want to do anything too quickly, so I just kind of like high-fived him, you know, like, you know, I act like I've been there before. I did the Barry Sanders, you know, I've done this before, you know, this is the third time, you know.
Very smart. All right, so one of your former teammates is now one of my teammates over at NFL Network. That's Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner, who was out covering one of your games not too recently, and you went over and tackled him at some point during the pregame warm-ups. Were you surprised he was that easy to bring down?
No, he was actually live on TV, so he couldn't defend himself, and he reprimanded me so many times when we played together. You know, I was like 21, 22 when we first got together, and he used to chastise me about, you know, the depth on the routes and, you know, inside releases and outside releases. So I was able to get a little retribution there too, and it felt good. It took him forever to get back up because he's an old man now.
Hey, Larry, so as we said, you're from the Minneapolis area. We know you were a ball boy on the Randy Moss, Chris Carter, Jake Reed teams, but did you ever have a chance to, like, hang out with the Twins during your early days?
All the time. My dad would take us to the Metrodome, and, you know, Kirby Puckett was one of my mentors growing up, you know, seeing the work ethic. You know, he'd be there 11:30 for a 7 o'clock game, and seeing his work ethic and being around Ken Herbeck and Chili Davis and Dave Winfield and Rod Carew when I was younger, and Jack Morris, and I mean Scott Erickson, and I mean I can go on and on down the line of the guys that were so kind to me. Dan Glavin, I mean they were always just so kind to me, and spending time up there at the Metrodome, and 89 and 91 being at a few games during those World Championship years, and now my boy Josh Donaldson just signed with the Twins. I'm really excited. You know, I mean we were unbelievable last year. The Yankees, you know, kind of beat us up in the playoffs, but you know, it was fun to see him and that young talent, adding Donaldson now to that equation. You know, he can play third base and DH when he needs a little break in the field. I think they're going to be really potent next year.
Larry, you should be excited. The team is really looking good. Look, we know you host a softball tournament every single year. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And could you use a couple of ringers like Chris and I?
I mean, we can always use some help. We can always use some celebrity star power. And this will be my 10th year. It'll be actually the last year that I'll be doing the softball event. And, you know, we've had, you know, everybody you can think of come in and participate. It's been an unbelievable run for us. And we do it at Salt River Fields. We're doing it in the last weekend of April. I hope it's going to be a great turnout. We usually have about 10,000 people in attendance. It's fabulous.
Awesome. Well, keep up the good work. Larry, before we let you go, we're going to play the game show that is sweeping the entire nation. This is called How Well Do You Know Myself? So we are going to ask you questions about Larry Fitzgerald. All right, the first one. Name 4 of the 5 wide receivers with more touchdown catches than you have in your career, which is 120.
Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, Chris Carter, and Marvin Harrison.
Whoa! You got all 5. Okay. I see you, baller. Okay. All right. At Pitt, you caught 3 touchdowns in a single game 3 different times. Who were the teams you did that against?
Yeah. I don't remember those.
It's all right.
I don't think it
All right,
happened.
here we go. Virginia Tech, Kent State, and Texas A&M.
All right. Okay.
It's done it too many times for Chris. I mean, what do you want?
I know. I understand.
It's been a while.
Last one here. Name the 4 other players from the 2004 first-round draft that also played in 2019.
Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, Matt Schaub, and Ben Watson.
Ooh. Schaub wasn't a first-rounder. I think he was like a third-rounder. So it's kind of tough because Big Ben only played 2 quarters this year. Yeah, that's
Pretty good, though. Oh,
hey,
no,
Larry, it was great.
pretty good.
I'm tripping, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
You're not tripping. Larry, thanks so much for the time. We appreciate it. Go have fun this weekend in Orlando at the Diamond Resorts Invitational.
Go low, brother.
I appreciate it. Chris, Carlos, thank you, man. It's good talking to you all.